Dad and I are in a race to win the top 5 leagues and cups in Europe, as well as the Champions League and Europa League, also known as the Glory Hunter Challenge. But for the 3rd season in a row, I have just lost the Coppa Italia final with Napoli after winning the league in season 1 with them. Meaning my current Glory Hunter cabinet going into season number 7 has stayed the same for a while now. Dad, however, recently moved to Spurs and won the Premier League in his 1st season. 2 seasons in North London gone though, and he still hasn't won the FA Cup yet. So this summer was all about bringing in some new talented players, and I know for a fact that my new Brazilian winger instantly improves my Napoli side. Dad's 3rd season starts with him spending over £400 million on his defence and goalkeeper for Spurs to try and improve things for his upcoming season as we look to win our domestic cups. Dad, £400 million spent
Yep.
this summer.
Yeah. I sold quite a few players with big money.
Only 150?
It was a big clear out, and I'm just trying to get rid of players that I'm not actually using that much. I mean, Archie Gray, I think he'll become a legend at Spurs. I mean, he is that good. I'm not using him though, so unfortunately he's gone. The goalkeeper didn't want to stay, the reserve keeper, so I had to get rid of him as well.
You brought him one in. No Atabulo.
Yeah, so I mean he's not going to go into my first team, but he's a good reserve keeper, I think.
All right, so Hugo Larsson, £63 million was spent on him.
Yeah.
Obviously one of my former players at Frankfurt, but one of your former players, Connor Bradley, also joined.
I mean, this guy probably will go into the first team. I don't think Larsson won't, but I just needed him for if I get any injuries. Connor Bradley, I could do with a better right-sided defender. And I know from my past experience at Borussia Dortmund, he will do that for me.
And then Carreras on the left-hand side.
Yeah, just like
looks a great player too.
He's a great player. I mean, he's going to be pushing for first team place, but whether he gets it, I don't know. But
the final one, Lenny Yoro.
Yes, I've just won. So what I've done really is I've made my defence really, really strong. The first team I think are really strong, but the second, what I would class as second team, then are even stronger as well. So
yeah.
If I get any injuries, I ain't going to worry about any players coming in. I mean, the top 4, you're not going to change that. I think it'd be very hard to get someone to come in and be better than what's up there. So, like I said, there, Connor Bradley's the only one who's probably gone in, and there he is. He's in.
All that money on Lenny Yoro, and he's on the bench still. Yeah, that's crazy.
But then I'm looking at it and thinking, if he rests players for the cup games and things like that, I've got to have better players or as good players coming in, should I say?
Yeah.
And that's what happens in cup games. You rest players, and I'm losing the cup games. That's what I'm after at the moment. The leagues, I've got the leagues in the bag, mate. I've won them 2 in a row already.
Here he goes, getting cocky now. We'll see if that continues, because you
got
have
it when you're being Spurs and you're winning the league.
Just drawn 1-1 with Burnley.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So let's not get too cocky. All right, you've beaten Everton 4-0. You've beaten Brentford 3-0. Villa 3-1 away from home. You lost to City in the Community Shield.
Yeah.
But a draw to Burnley straight away. But as we know, not really worried about the Premier League. It is all about that FA Cup. So can you win the FA Cup this
Lenny
season?
Laurel's in the team there, look, for the drawn game against Burnley.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't play that well.
Well, yeah, that's probably why he's not in it now. Anyway, I only had one signing coming through the door. I think it was a good one. Obviously, I didn't really have that much money. There was a few players who did leave. Antonio Blanco was one of them. But Alberto from Flamengo, £15 million comes in. Left winger. Now, of course, we've been playing quite a narrow formation with 3 strikers across that front 3. So buying a winger who can play up front, granted, is obviously something new. And that is because we have gone to a 4-2-3-1. We've got the players to do it. Vitor Roque drops to the right quite naturally anyway. Very good player. He can play from the right-hand side. Alberto on that left as a 4.5-star type of player. Vlahovic, Lorenzo Luca. We've got quite a few players who can play up front. Vlahovic takes a position right now, but probably if I do best 11, it might change. We got Ferguson Ramirez. I think one of my midfielders is the weakest position, but we don't have any money. Like the guy we picked up from Alberto cost us, what, 15 million? Not even that? Yeah, 15 million pound. So mega cheap money to bring him in from Brazil just on a release clause. We don't have any money to bring anybody else in, unfortunately. We can see here we've only got £4 million there. Okay, a bit of a wage, but again, that's only going to get us 10 million. You're not going to get a first team centre midfielder for £10 million for Napoli. So we're looking at the start of the season. We have won one and lost one, unfortunately. We only played 2 games. in the league. We lost to Lazio 1-0, but we did have a player sent off after 10 minutes, which is unfortunate. We did go to Atalanta, go to Bergamo, and beat them 4-3 with a last-minute goal with Armando Ramirez, the guy that we signed from Mexico a couple of seasons ago. Very good player indeed, who now plays defensive midfield. He got the winner there. So both of us are looking for the cups. That's the only thing we need to pursue in each of our countries now. Let's see if we can do it in season number 7. The first half of the season was just a formality for Dad, but in Italy, we still needed to qualify for the third round of the Coppa Italia, which we did emphatically, 7-0. But in the league, we were third and already 7 points behind Inter Milan, while Dad was in a title race with Liverpool again. Of course, this is where Dad's season really begins though, as it's the FA Cup, and Dad eventually got himself into the quarter-finals after a 5-4 win against Charlton. While I find myself in the two-legged semi-final of the Coppa Italia against Atalanta, where in the first leg, which we played at home, it didn't go as well as I had planned, and we took the lead after they come back to equalise and the game stayed 1-1. I'd also just lost a 6-pointer and the top spot to Inter Milan by losing to them going into the final 2 months of the season, while Dad was also battling Liverpool and losing his top spot at the same time. This season's biggest fear had come true for me though, as Atalanta smashed us 3-0 in the second leg of the Coppa Italia semi-final, and it's another season that it eludes me. Unfortunately for Dad, his Spurs side didn't even get to the semi-final as they were beaten by West Ham. Dad was unfortunate in the league too, as a final day clash with Liverpool at Anfield meant the winner takes the title, but a draw meant that Liverpool finished first, and after Dad went 2-0 up, they pulled it back level but couldn't find a third. They are, however, in the Champions League finals. All is not lost this season against my former Barcelona side. Meanwhile, I had to play in a playoff because I had somehow managed to catch Inter Milan and finish on the same points at the end of the Serie A season. And that playoff game did not go well for us as we had a player sent off early on, my centre-back of course, and Inter Milan proceeded to destroy us and punish us for that, winning 4-1 and even going 4-0 up. Dad's Champions League final against Barcelona also didn't start well as Barcelona took the lead early on in the second half through Ferran Torres, but it was just 10 minutes later that Rodrigo equalised for Spurs, and within 3 minutes, Dad's side struck again to score the winning goal and win another Champions League trophy. Well, it's Champions League glory. It's just not what we wanted from either of us. You beat Arne Slot's Barcelona, my old Barcelona team, in the final. Rodrigo and Hendrick pulled it back from being 1-0 down to win 2-1. But it's kind of still a disappointing season for us in Glory Hunter. You didn't even win the Premier League this time round. Your cockiness has bit you in the bum there.
Yeah, I lost I didn't lose the last game of the season. I lost it at the last game of the season by drawing against Liverpool. I needed to beat them.
2-0 down.
Yeah.
But you did pull it back to 2-2. But yeah, you needed a win.
I needed a win to take the league as well. So I needed a nice little double there. But like you say, it's the FA Cup I'm after.
Quarter-final exit by West Ham. He went on to the final and lost against Man City. And it's a very similar situation in Italy because I had a semi-final exit by Atalanta. He went on and lost in the final too. But I actually went down to a final day and it was a playoff against Inter Milan. I had another man sent off in a costly situation there. My centre-back getting sent off, which meant we lost 4-1 on the final day of the season in that playoff that we had to play because we did overtake them. We overtook them towards the end of the season. It was down to obviously the points that had been won. Unfortunately, we do not take the league title on this day, but not a great season for either of us, especially when Atalanta batter us 3-0 in the cup semi-final, so we couldn't even make the final this time round after how many times we have done it in the last few seasons. 3 in a row, I think, so we've gone backwards, unfortunately. But let's have a look then. So squad-wise, we got a new signing in the door, and this is what I like to see. The goals from Vlahovic, 39 in 46 games, is amazing. Vitor Roque's done well. Alberto's done well, 20 and 16. So not a bad little result in terms of the goals contributed from a lot of our attacking players. But we don't have really a lot of money to splash. You know, like if we are where we are in the league, that's one good player.
Yeah.
So where is that going to be sort of improved? We'll have to have a look. And to yourself, Dad, I mean, you've been splashing the cash. The fact that you haven't got a domestic trophy is quite hilarious, really. I mean, you winning the big one, the Champions League.
One, so I think the board would be happy.
Yes.
Coming second with the last day of the season, nearly done it. So I think the board would be happy. But my front four are still doing the business for me, so I can't moan at them really. So.
Yeah, the two Brazilians are getting a good amount of goals.
Yeah.
And you've got £63 million, but you are quite far over the wage budget here. So maybe a bit of a clear out.
It's one of those seasons really I could sort of like just go as it is. You know, I feel that that team, it's hard to improve that team, I think, really. And like you say, it's hard to bring one player in to sort of go into that starting lineup, I feel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've got a lot of thinking to do. Have a look to see what's around and see where I go from here, really.
Yeah, both of us are still on the hunt for the domestic cup. And in terms of clubs available right now, nobody that really stands out, to be honest. Chelsea down in 9th place there.
It's no good for me going to
Even
Chelsea,
on the
really.
sort of insecure list. I mean, Mikel Arteta's at Burnley. His career's gone right down there. There's nobody there available either that looks like they could be losing their job. So I think we might be staying put.
One of the big teams came up, I would jump at it, I think, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you've only got the FA Cup and one of the best teams in the league. Your decision making in Glory Hunter shocks me.
Yeah, but I don't want to hang around too long again, you know.
When everybody was telling you not to hang around, you're like, one more season. When everybody's like, no, you need to stay there. You've got a decent team here at Spurs. I'd go on a heartbeat.
I wouldn't go at a heartbeat. It's got to be one of the big teams where you sort of like a Barcelona, Bayern Munich.
And Omega Dad is an enigma. He makes his own rules. Let's find out what happens this summer and see if he stays or not.
I'll be jumping. I'll be
gone.
gone.
Oh, yeah. We both would. With no trophies to add to the Glory Hunter cabinets, it's back to transfers. And after last season's switch to the tactic, we improve our attacking options with a new signing in Mexican attacking midfielder Mora, who scored the opening goal of our Serie A campaign. While Dad went in big, signing one striker as Benjamin Sesko joined Spurs. Unfortunately for Dad, though, it's been a terrible start to the season, which might be because of yet another change of the system, as the Tinkerman strikes again. Well, I thought I was having a great window until João Gomez arrived, and then he was a non-EU player that we couldn't register. And yeah, here we are again. Not knowing the rules.
This is usually me though, isn't it?
Yeah, not knowing the rules of how it all pans out. Now, I did think we'd be okay for it because the likes of Lewis Ferguson left, but he did go on a free transfer to Brighton. He left with that non-EU rule attached to him. Well, we must have enough positions available, which is the reason why we went for João Gomez. But unfortunately, because we had also already gone for Gilberto Mora, who is a non-EU player, the Mexican attacking midfielder, and he is absolutely... I'd have been gutted if it was him. We obviously couldn't. But we've also got the likes of Wamba, who's come in, who's non-EU, and maybe that's where I was at fault there. He came in on loan, and I don't know. I've made some terrible decisions here, but they both the two deals got done at the same time, and I just didn't think of it. Another loan signing in Juma, who's come in at left wing back, just to give us a bit of options there. And Philip Jorgensen. We needed a good goalkeeper because Alex Meret has left the club, so we brought in Jorgensen. We still got two goalkeepers, but Toriani is less said about him the better. We are still playing the 4-2-3-1, and the fact that we keep losing in the cups, I'm locking in as many players as possible. I want this to be my front four and Ramirez to be playing in a different role here, the box-to-box playmaker role, and push forward. Jorgensen locked in as my goalkeeper. I want them to play every single game if possible. Alberto on the left, Vitor Roque there, and I want Mora in there. When I don't lock them in, Mora moves to the right, and I hate that. I don't want Mora playing from the right-hand side. To me, he is much better in that attacking midfield slot, which is exactly the reason why I bought him. Now, to start off the season, we have took a draw, but it was against Inter, so not bad really when you consider they won the league last year.
Yeah.
Beating us, obviously, but yeah, no draw with them. Absolutely fine. Cremonense 2-1 away from home, despite us being... We had a man sent off and then still went on and won it in the 91st minute. They did score in the 92nd. But then Venezia 6-2 at the beginning of the season. Gilberto Mora in that attacking midfield slot got himself a hat-trick on his debut. So
good start.
Great sign of things to come, we hope, from Gilberto Mora. Now, Dad, you did stay put with Spurs.
Yes, nothing sort of popped up really that I was interested in. So, yeah.
Stayed there and bought one player.
Yeah.
Benjamin Sesko.
Yes. I just wanted another striker in there just in case I get any injuries. I felt that at my back four and midfield I had enough players to cover everything. So I just thought, right, just get another striker in that could be dangerous, and it's worked for me so far. He's got 2 goals already.
Yeah.
With 2 assists. So,
Switch things around again. The Tinkerman strikes.
That's what I was sort of like.
After winning the Champions League, remember?
Yes. I mean, I just thought Benjamin Sesko up there as a target striker might just work if I change it. So I changed it. So I'm only after a cup tonight, so it's worth. I thought it'd be worth the gamble, really. Get Rodrigo out wide, Hendrick in the middle, and see what happens then. Go from there, really. Got the 2 midfield boys coming through.
All right, well, you have won, lost, and drew a game at the start of the season. Bought Sesko, and the team that sold him beat you 4-2.
Yeah.
Leeds also, though, a 6-0 win. You think, oh, lovely, we're back on track. And then you draw to Nottingham Forest in the 95th minute as well.
Yeah. That's just the way it goes, isn't it? I mean, I can score 16 goals in 2 games, and then I can see 3 against Nottingham Forest. So
yeah, a game for the neutral this one, because you went 1-0 up, 2-1 down, 3-2 up, and then they equalised at the 95th minute. That would have been a great game for Sky Sports to cover, that one. You did then beat Fleetwood 10-0 in the Cup, but to be honest, if you didn't beat them...
That's right. Yeah.
With an astonishing amount, we'd be like, ooh, it was a little bit close one.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all down to the cups again. We rock and roll again. FA Cup, Coppa Italia. That's what we're looking for. Probably not going to be searching for jobs while we're doing it. Nope. Let's see what happens. In what was turned out to be my worst season at Napoli yet, the only positive was that we got through Lazio in the early rounds of the Coppa Italia. As both ourselves and Inter Milan were struggling in the Serie A, and surprise league leaders Como crept out of nowhere to be 10 points above me. Dab was trailing Liverpool again in the Premier League, so nothing new was there. It wasn't getting any easier for me in the Coppa Italia, as we next had to overcome AC Milan in the quarterfinals. We managed to do so, winning 3-1. It was bad news for Dad though, as a 5th round FA Cup tie against Brentford was the end of the road for Spurs in the FA Cup. So with Dad out of the Cup and the Champions League because of Liverpool, it was back to Italy, where a 2-legged match against Bologna again took place, and this time our first leg win at home was 5-1. But even in the semi-final second leg, we didn't hold up and we smashed them 4-0, beating them 9-1 on aggregate. Of course, to lift the cup though, it wasn't going to be easy, as it was Inter Milan that we had to face again in the final. But with the league title race over, our sole focus went on that cup final. 5th season here in Napoli and our 4th attempt at winning the Coppa Italia. Can we finally get this one over the line, or will my suffering continue in Italy? Well, it started very well for us as we dominated the early period of the match, and within 20 minutes found ourselves in the lead thanks to Mora finding Ramirez. It stayed 1-0 into the second half, but eventually we got some air between the two sides when Alberto's cross was headed in. But we sealed the win and the cup from the penalty spot as Dusan Vlahovic scores a 3rd. And it's job done. We are finally Italian Cup winners, and we can add another trophy to our cabinet and find ourselves a new job. 5 seasons it took me. 5 seasons to finally win the Coppa Italia. We got the job done.
I was enjoying myself watching you struggle. Oh dear.
I can't afford to take that long again.
No.
With a cup because that was draining. But we got the job done. The boys got the job done. 3-0 against Inter Milan, which was great. And of course, we were nowhere near the league either. 5 points away from AC Milan, who kind of popped up out of nowhere and went on and won the league this season. Inter Milan was down below us there. But yeah, we weren't very good at all across this season outside of that Coppa Italia competition, where we just seemed to be very good. Dad, a season without a trophy, despite, of course, how good your team is.
Yeah.
Premier League goes to Liverpool again. They're also winning the FA Cup and going for the treble because they're about to face Inter Milan in the final of the Champions League as well.
That FA Cup's just doing me in, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What did I go? The 5th round, was it? Something?
5th round against Brentford was as far as you got.
Oh dear.
4-2 result.
I just don't know. I just felt that the actual squad I've got is so strong. I'm struggling to sort of like put anybody into the squad now.
Yeah.
So, and I've changed tactics this time to see if that would do any difference.
Too many times, some would say.
Well, the 4 I played up front was stayed there for quite some time.
Yeah, but the trouble is you keep changing it when it's one time it was working, then you change it to something that doesn't work, and then you're constantly chasing what it was previously.
I mean, just look at that team there. It's just so good, isn't it, really?
Maybe not in that system, though.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going wrong. 33 goals from Benjamin Sesko, 25 and 28 from Endrick, 20 and 16 from Kulusevski. Xavi Simons has had a good season. Rodrigo's had an okay season. But you do have 23 million. You're way over the wages.
Yeah.
This is it. You've been spending. The time is up now.
I mean, well, like I said, I would struggle to put a player into that squad, really. And like you say, I think it's just a case I might have to just tinker again.
Yeah.
And just try another little tactic and see if something else comes up. I don't know.
Okay, well, I will be leaving Napoli because my job in Italy is now done. And probably a good job because a lot of these players are good, but they're not amazing, and a lot of them will be leaving soon because of age, etc. Alberto probably my key signing there, 21 and 19. He's probably the best player that we had since coming to Napoli, so very happy with that. But if we're looking at the players, the jobs available, we're still a little bit early. We're still right at the end of May. Sometimes they don't sack managers until you creep over. The Inter Milan manager is very insecure despite being in the Champions League final, which tells you everything about this.
If he loses, he's gone a nil.
Yeah, but the big one underneath, Pep Guardiola at Manchester City is insecure after finishing in 7th place. Now, joining you in the Premier League would be very interesting indeed, especially when you've only got to go for one thing and I can disrupt it all if I join.
I tell you what, though, I could be tempted to jump ship again and go to Inter.
Really?
Well, they're a good side. They're a good side.
How do you know? Because this is very far into the future now.
Yeah.
A lot of their players are not the same ones. Lautaro Martinez is 35 years of age. Nowhere near as good as the two strikers that you've got. You got Roger Fernandez, nowhere near as good as Endrick.
Oh, I know that.
So there's no point in moving.
There's one thing's definite. I ain't moving until you've got a job. Because I ain't letting you have Spurs.
Well, no, I wouldn't do that. No, definitely not. But that's where we end it, obviously, today, because we don't quite know where we're gonna end up next. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next episode of The Glory Hunter to find out exactly where I go and to see if Dad decides to stay again. That's right, Italy is now complete, and we look towards where we go next in Glory Hunter, with England and France still untouched.